sure they have flavors for each guy, but they're just running their offense and trying to be efficient, utilize the personnel. I know they're banged up, but got a good collection of skill around them, and system in place has been really good for a long time now.
Well, freshman running back runs hard.
Yeah, 20. He's really good. He's a good player. He's very explosive, good instincts, can really accelerate. He's got good top end speed.
Coach Jake had maybe his best game on Saturday night, 3 tackles for loss. How good is it to have him back healthy? Is he finally playing at 100% now?
Yeah, he's been practicing, a little over a week now, and came back and had a good week of preparation, got in there. Luckily we had a good handle on the game, and he got in there and made the most of his opportunity. So he's been practicing well, though. So it's good to see that happen for him. Just moving forward, building confidence, and again, continue to build your depth.
It's the feeling that Xavier Thomas will be back full go.
Yeah.
When you watch the film of NC State, what you've seen so far, can you tell that the injuries on the offensive line are starting to take a little bit of a toll?
They actually play pretty good. They play really well. You can tell they're well coached, got a good cohesion and chemistry. The young offensive tackle that they moved in there a couple of games ago is a really talented player, and very similar to the Becton kid at Louisville, who we've got a lot of respect for. I'm not sure how tall he is. He may not be as tall, but he's massive and really athletic. So they've done a good job, recruiting and developing their guys, and I know they've got a few guys banged up, but the guys coming in have really done well.
We got to talk to Luke kind of about his start football late in high school, things like that. What you see from him, recruiting wise, and how do you think he's developed so far?
Well, again, he had to move, and once he came here, he moved from D end, which he's just starting to kind of get a feel for, to D tackle. And for D ends, the initial transition isn't always a lot of fun. And so just the game's a little different. Some ways the same, some ways different. So there was a transition there for him, and still working on fundamentals and technique, but he's a heavy-handed, twitchy, athletic, big guy that plays with a lot of passion, and that's fun to watch. Easy to coach, and again, he's barely played football, so he's young, just turned 18 not long ago, and so he's a really, really young one, and sky's the limit for Rook. He's just the biggest thing is stay focused, and grind, and buy in, which he has.
He seemed very engaging, confident for a young guy. What's he like off the field?
He's got a good grasp on. He's got a sense of maturity to him and a good grasp on, what he wants in life. He was raised up the right way, and then had come from a program, one of the better programs in Detroit. They've done a terrific job mentoring and coaching and guiding him and his team. He comes from a very good culture, so he was looking for something like Clemson. So he was able to really plug in, and he's a people person. Again, great humility, and he's a worker.
Brent, you spent a lot of time with Oklahoma and coaching and overall, but what kind of luxury is it to be at a program where you're able to pretty much empty the benches and see what your talent can do out there like you have here at Clemson? You'll be able to look at your roster and really pick through it by the end of the year.
Well, again, I'm grateful for Coach Sweeney having a philosophy that's important. And again, as we've said many times, it's really good in developing your team, obviously, from one year to the next, and it's good for the morale of the team as well, and brings a lot of energy to practices and meetings, and certainly to game day when you're able to play more guys. And some weeks you're afforded to play a lot, and some weeks the opportunity just isn't there. So when you get those opportunities, you want to really take advantage of it.
Talk about developing guys. Can you kind of walk through your evolution with Isaiah from the time you first kind of saw some high school tape on him to the player he's become now?
Well, I mean, he came in as a runner and a hitter, and not a lot of strength, long, and he's kind of like Bambi, and ton of energy, very willing, and we almost played him that first year. We're going to put him in that dime package, as our dime backer. And we decided against it, redshirted him, and just thinking about the longevity of his career. And played safety in a backup role, but I'm not sure how many snaps he had as a redshirt freshman, but played, was a good contributor. And then, with losing Dorian, we knew we had to make the move in the auto season, and it was really good. Some ways easy, as far as his skill set and his length and his toughness, his willingness to tackle, and then others is that it refined his skills and really understanding of the position and how it fits into the whole defense. And last year he's just trying to figure out how to get lined up where to put his eyes and then the techniques that go with both coverage and pressure, man, zone, all of those things. And it was some really, really good stuff and a few bad plays here and there, and that's part of the growth. A little inconsistency, and then really caught on right at the end of the year last year. He really took off. I think some of it was learning through failure, and some of it was I need to focus a little more on the details of my position. And when he did that, he had great results. And then this year, he took a lot of time in the outer season to really study the totality, the big picture, and again the whole defense, and to really have a good understanding of his position. And I think you're seeing the results of that.
We talk a lot about sort of diamonds in the rough on the recruiting trail. I don't know how many of them there actually are anymore, but he seems like he's sort of fits that mold of you saw some things and then really blossomed into something else.
And I don't know so much as if we saw it, other than a big, long, rangy guy that can run. It was smart. It was tough. It came from a good program, a great family. And once you checked all those boxes, I was really trying to talk him into coming. We were in a state of desperation, a panic, if you will, in the recruiting process, having lost 5 guys early that were giving up their graduation in our back 7, and really our secondary. And so we were kind of a victim of circumstance to a certain degree. But had he gone to a bunch of camps and stuff, some of those competitions that they have to rate guys, I think he would have been noticed a lot more, and we talked about a lot more. So I wouldn't try to give us too much credit, with that. When you see him in person, you're like, are you kidding me? Really was just a matter of trying to talk him into coming, from there. So I really didn't think we'd have a great chance just because his family's so close. And but fortunate for us, they were looking for the right things, and found him here in Clemson.
He and Travis were talking after the game. I think they tied 1-1 in racing. Do you know? I don't know if you know or not. Is he one of the fastest guys?
Yeah, he's one of the fastest guys. Yeah, he's usually one of the fastest guys on the field. So he's got great top end speed.
Brent, guy from the same neck of the woods, Xavier Kelly. He's been injured and came back out this week. What's up with Xavier and his development this year?
It's good. He's gotten a lot better. We moved him from D-end to D-tackle, so there's a process involved. But Xavier's bought in. He's really worked hard and went through. Has his shoulder banged up a little bit right now. Fought through a little bit last week, but he's got in there. He's done pretty well. So Xavier's done a nice job.
With Root, do you remember just what stood out about him to where he hadn't played a lot of football, but you guys kind of saw what he could?
Yeah, just a big, athletic, twitchy guy. Then you see his transcript, his good grades, and the coaches can't say enough great things about him. And you really liked him when you find out he's hardly played. And again, got a great frame and super good family. And again, he made a lot of plays. When he didn't know what he was doing. So we were again having the situation we had, with D linemen, mass exodus. We were looking high and low, for D linemen, so willing to go anywhere.
Dorian was a guy y'all didn't have to sub for, depending on the situation. How much of a luxury is it at that position to go this long?
No, it's great. Yeah, it's great. You can always, as long as they're subbing situationally, to sub your one player for another. But that's not easy to do. You get 85 scholarships. To have somebody that kind of versatility is hard to find. So it's a great luxury. And the more play, the better they'll be, and it certainly has helped Isaiah too in his growth, being able to learn how to play, versus big people, versus the option, versus the spread, all of it.
Kayvon has had an interception against NC State all 3 meetings. He said last year he really gets up for that game because they didn't recruit him. Does he ever talk to you about that, getting particularly excited for them?
No. He's got a good story, but to be honest, he could care less about that. Whatever gets him ready, it's good. I didn't know that.
Is he one of the guys that, when you're going into the season, one of the guys you're expecting big things from and has really fulfilled the promise?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a 4th-year senior. He's played a lot of football. He's very invested. One of the smartest guys we have on defense. A very natural football player. Got really good instincts and good understanding of the game, and can play multiple positions as well. But he also values the leadership role that he's in. He's really grown up a lot since he's been here, and he has been one of our best leaders.
Brent's Denzel Johnson going to be available this week?
Coach, every year about this time, your name is going to pop up with potential job openings. How do you handle that? How do you deal with it?
I just don't. Just getting ready for NC State, so there's nothing to handle, to be honest with you.
Anybody else? All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
Right?